Now then, people, welcome back to the Just Joe Football Show and another episode of the final word. Only one more of these left of the season. This is the penultimate final word. And the next one we bring you will be a Premier League. Well, after the last one, will be a Premier League final word. So we need to bask in these wins and these amazing performances because it ain't going to be like that next season, that's for sure. We might get the odd amazing performance here and there, but we've been spoilt this season and we were spoilt last night. So all's gravy in Leeds town. The parade's on Monday. The manager's staying. If anything, by the crowd's reaction is to go by because that was pretty special last night. The performance was so dominant and 4-0 was a deserved scoreline. I thought at one point it was going to stay 1-0. It was another one of them 1-0 batterings, but then the goals came and obviously we had two late strikes from Largi Ramazani, who's actually tweeted out, Annie, I don't know if you've seen it, he went parliamentary procedures, and I was like, get up, man. Love that as well, obviously, with the Eubank stuff over the weekend as well. So, yeah, all good. Great to see. Stupendous is what it is. Mike's going in and out, is it? Can you hear me, folks? Am I having issues with my mic again?
No, it's just if you move out way of it, Joe.
Oh, okay. That's all that is, DJ Yorkie. I must stay here then. It's a good job we've got a sound tech on board, innit? Yeah, well, it's yesterday's watch along, Jack. I had loads of issues with my sound, and it sounded like running water at one point. And they were going, "Where's Jack? We need Jack."
Tech support.
But Jack, you were at the game, you lucky guy, because I've been speaking to my friend Sean today, who you're, and he said it was up there, like atmosphere-wise, it was phenomenal. I won't lie, I watched the after celebrations and I was a little bit jealous. Sort of thought, what am I doing sat here, folks? You know, that kind of vibe, but it is what it is, mate. You were there. What was it like for you, mate?
Yeah, it was a taste of it. Got me really excited for next season, to be honest, because I do think that's going to be the performance of the fans going forward. It was just, I know there was nothing. Well, I think there's something riding on the game, but not not like there has been, because we ultimately, if we'd have lost or drawn yesterday, it'd have been a bit of a shame. But people can get over it pretty quick, can't they? So everybody would just bang up for it, but it was literally, it was bouncing throughout. I mean, I would say after about 20 minutes, it settled slightly because it couldn't carry on to that level, but it was just constantly like. It was very bustly, and yeah, it was a brilliant atmosphere. Definitely one of the best I've been in recent history. I must say the semi-final at playoffs last year were unbelievable. There was a lot of jeopardy in that game as well, so it was slightly different atmosphere last night. Because it was more, it was a bit of a party last night. Because I can't remember who it was, but somebody spooned it over at bar and stuff, and they were like laughter and like, just nothing can go wrong today. Do you know what I mean? Everybody were like, whereas normally it'd be like, right, and it'd get going a bit. But no, we're like, everybody was just like, let's have a mint night, and then obviously staying behind and stuff for ages. It was mint what they did, really. So it was a proper party.
Yeah, it was very Americanized, I felt. Not that it was a bad thing, folks. I'm not saying that, but I did think, and they're running on the and Ilya Melie, and he had his chance, and then but it beats, like I was saying when I was watching it. I said it beats because I've seen it many a time where they're walking around with the families going like this after we've finished 13th, and you're going next season, lads. Do you know what I mean? So at least. This is how it's supposed to be done, innit?
If you were having problems with your mic yesterday, Joe, I don't know if you noticed on TV, it just kept cutting out completely. Yeah, so they were going like, "I'm number 14," and then everybody started shouting them. They just started shouting them for it, like you can't even hear it. And then music cut off a couple of times, just like for 5 seconds, and then booted back in. So
it's always been a bit dodgy, that PA system, that white noise. Sometimes I've been at game and it just goes,
yeah,
and it's like, what's just happened? Mad. No, there is nothing wrong with the Americanization, Clem. You're right. Apart from halftime shows, I'm all right. I'm just saying that's what it gave me vibes of. but it's okay. Although the FIFA Club World Cup, there is an halftime show this time. But listen, that's a rabbit hole we don't need to go down. Let's do that another day. Lockie, talking of reception, we were in our group chat last night, and I was like, nah, that's it now. I'm all in. I'm all fucking in on that.
Man.
And seeing the reaction from the crowd in the ground was really strong for the manager, weren't it? And they were singing his name, and it was really nice seeing him afterwards, because I love Marcelo, but we only ever got a few glimpses of him, his emotions, you know, like when he went, Galvin, Patrick. That's as much as we got from Marcelo ever. And that's all we got from him. But Farker was well in, man, spraying. It was quality, man. He was giving it this. I loved it, wasn't it? It was great.
I had it when he was doing that. I speak to my girlfriend. I said, "Imagine Bielsa doing that, just running around, it's going a bit mad."
I don't think they would squirt him, you know, because he'd be like,
"No chance." No, they'd know not to do that, wouldn't they? They've got nowhere. You know what? My kind of thing this season was, for all how good Fark is, there was never seemed to be that close connection with the fan base. You know, hence why there was never really a song and stuff like that until the last 2 games. I think it's fair to say that connection is there now. The song was being sang, the reception was amazing. You obviously, Jack, you'll know. Like, it just felt like this was Fark's moment to really say, "I'm Leeds United manager." Putting his foot down. And you know what I loved about it as well? For me, all the stuff in the papers, whether true or not, the players would have seen that.
Yeah.
They'd have seen it. And they'd have gone, no chance. And they played for him last night.
Yeah, I felt
how good were we? They played for him. They said, "We'll show them how good this football is. We'll show whoever wants to see it how good this football can be when we play what the manager wants." And that's what got me, how good they played for him after all this stuff in the papers and all that. So I'm so happy. And that was it for me. I think the connection between fan, manager, and players now it's high. For most people, anyway. Obviously, some people will never be happy with 100 points or almost 100 goals, but it's there. Is that's what you mean by all in it, Joe? You can proper feel it now. I remember saying a few months ago, that I like the players, but if they left, I'd be like, "Nice one, cheers." But now I don't want any of them to go. I want them all to stay. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just bringing some better ones, bringing more.
This is where we're sentimental FC, but why is that a bad thing, Lockie? It's fucking not.
They've given us this memory.
Yeah, exactly.
Everything we've seen the last kind of 6 games in the most difficult part of the season, they've turned up.
Yeah.
Even last year, Leicester and Ipswich, they bottled it at this. They're just about, obviously, they got through it because we bottled it as well. But they weren't winning game after game at this time of the season. They capitulated. This team stepped up to it. And I want to see them play for Leeds United. Look, don't get me wrong, we need a lot of players in the summer and very good ones. But that doesn't mean we still need a squad. We still need players that can come in if they don't work out. And we've got a great base of a squad here. We just need some proper talent added onto it and some more physicality. But I don't want any of them to go. Obviously, I'm talking like some of the older guys. Fair enough. I'm talking, the Nontos, the Ramazanis, those type of guys. Gruev. I'll just keep them around. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I agree with you. It was. Let's talk about the game. Let's strip it back. There's some great key moments, Jack. Obviously, Ramazani coming off the bench, scoring 2 lovely goals. The Pirro pass. I mean, that was some ball. Who got the first now? Solomon to Tanaka. That was another great ball, which we've seen.
Great passes.
Yeah, man.
Even Gruev's for Ramazani, that ball was unbelievable.
Getting the flowers that he deserves finally, man, because he's been key.
Celebration as well.
Man.
You were loving it.
He's been so key to this 5-game unbeaten run that we've had, really. He's been, him and Tanaka in midfield have been great, as well as the centre-backs. They all have. They've all hit peak form at the right time. I don't think even Aronson, and even the most people who dislike Aronson or maybe don't appreciate what he does, concede last night. He played well. He was the guy that coincidentally skied it over, I think, Jack. But, you know what I mean? That's just Brendan, right? Like, we know that. That's what probably stops him from being a Premier League player, is them final bits. Do you know what I mean? But he can still be a good squad option. But let's talk through some of the goals. I do want to start with that pass, actually. I know it's the second goal, but Pirro, for me, if compare Pirro last season where Lockie and Andrea at the start told us is not the right fit for this system, and they were right, and then and then into the second season, we've seen a totally different Pirro. You know, we've seen a totally different Pirro who's been able to do more of what a 9 would do in terms of linking the play. His touch seems to have got better. I don't know if that's just because he's in form or whatever, but you know, I've said just jokingly for a bit now, like he's like the Championship Harry Kane, but what he did last night genuinely was what Harry Kane would do. You know, at Spurs, at Bayern, he just pick it up and then bang. You know, what a ball that was, and a great finish, Jack, from Nonto as well. Who, you know, after he got that start when James first got injured, I was like, oh, I was a bit disappointed. But the last 2 games, he's been decent, hasn't he?
Yeah, it was a lovely turn as well for Peru, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It's just on, you know, like you say, that Harry Kane style, like he dropping deep and then he beats his man with 1 touch, doesn't he? And then, like you say, lovely ball through. Mint finish from Nonto. I was right happy all day for all of them, to be fair. But, you know, the celebrations were always mint. Mint finish for Nonto as well. And he does deserve his goal, does Nonto. I always think you know what you're getting from Nonto, and he puts in 100%. He gets about. And like you were just saying about Gruev, Joe, like, you know, they all deserve this. You know, the last few games where we have pulled it out the bag. You can say whatever you want about Sheffield United. You know, a few people sort of try to suggest that they've gifted us it. You're still going to take it, aren't you? We were getting gifted the results last year, all at the end of the season, and nobody took them. So you can't say, oh, they just give you them, because you can go as well.
Just to jump in, it really pisses me off that, because I've seen it a lot. It's like, oh, would you be saying this if Sheffield United didn't drop points and we were still in 3rd? Well, that logic is so flawed, because that means what? So all the points we amassed prior to that got us into this position don't matter then. All the wins that we got prior to Sheffield United dropping the ball, meaning we were within touching distance, count for shit. It's like, what are you doing here? It's a 46-game season. Any manager in world football will tell you, and even fans will tell you, what's the most difficult trophy to win? You can win a champion. I mean, Roberto Di Matteo won a Champions League with Chelsea, for fuck's sake. The guy now doesn't manage at all. You know, these things happen, right? You can win one-off games. What you can't do is replicate week after week after week. It's not an easy thing to do. You can talk about level or whatever. You can talk about players, but you still have to go out there and win games on a regular basis. To say that we're going to win the league, which I think we will, because Sheffield United dropped the ball, is just so disingenuous and full of shit. But yeah, sorry for the rant.
But no, it's just not how football works, though, is it?
No, exactly.
And again, like no credit to us to be like, well, yeah, and we kept the pressure on. Farker didn't have a wobble when Wilder were having his wobble. He didn't have his wobble. He kept calm. He said, no, 100%. And everybody went crazy. All fan base went crazy. They were like, no, 100%. And he's 100% right now. He's being correct. He's correct. 100% correct. So he is. But yeah, and Sheffield United couldn't deal with the pressure of it all, could they? Or, you know, people just saw that, you know, something happened, whatever, in changing room, or these things happened. Don't they? That's what happens when there's a lot of pressure on, and we wasn't going to buckle under the pressure. Like last night, I mean, Bristol are a decent side, aren't they?
Yeah. Fifth, bro. Fifth.
They're decent. This would have been, you know, if it had been, if Sheffield United had put it on us, we'd have been going into last night thinking this is one of the most difficult fixtures we could have right now.
Yeah.
They're potentially in the Premier League themselves. Potentially, we're going to play them again in the playoffs if Sheffield United had stayed with us. Do you know what I mean? So we're going to put a bit of a marker down in that sense, get an head start. So, you know, and then I couldn't believe how bog standard we made them. And it is us making these teams, and we can put to bed that. And I don't believe that just because shackles are off, that is why we've gone out and beaten 4-0. Because I think, if I'm honest as well, with the crowd, this is what I've been on about all year, and trying not to get Radji too quickly. It doesn't help. So when they was a little bit relieved, you know, you would imagine, in fairness, if I'm going to be fair to that, they'll be a little bit relieved while they're playing, and they know that it's not all on tonight, even though, you know, they would have wanted to win. But then when the crowd just is unrelenting, how can that not squash Bristol and just build Leeds United? Do you know what I mean? It is the 12th man. You've got to stick by its side a little bit. It won mint. And I just want to mention, if I can as well, Joe, on Farker, because, I mean, I think we need new chants. I think that's awful, to be honest. I think it's about as standard as it gets. But I think with just his whole demeanour, he's not an attention seeker. So I think the fans have not deliberately forgot about Farke. I just think he is like a business. He gets the business done. It's quite methodical, and he's just like, game after game after game, like you say. So I don't think we've been screaming his name necessarily. I think everybody collectively feels his presence. I genuinely do. Like in the ground, I think everybody's fond of him. Like just silly stuff, like when he plucked ball out of air last year. You know what I mean? Everybody went mental for that. That goes around Twitter quite a bit. That's quite a, I don't want to say iconic moment, but a really good moment for Leeds United and Leeds United fans, isn't it? Farke's very much a part of Leeds. I just think we've not sung about him yet. Do you know what I mean? And then last night we did make a point of it because everybody were going in, and then at the end of the game, it were like we're pointing at him. It was like everybody stopped watching game for the last 5 minutes, just literally pointing at him and shouting his name. So everybody's on board with Farke, really. And you'd be a maniac not to be.
Yeah. Yeah. Talking of maniacs, one's just joined us, hasn't he?
Sorry.
Yes, Luke, how's things, mate? Are you all bathed and all that, yeah?
Bathed, red hot, man. So I like my bath to be really hot. So when I get out of the bath and that, like, it's usually a bit cooler, but it's scorching at a minute, in it. So it's still something like, I don't know, still hot down here. It's like 20 degrees still or something. I know I'm only like 200 miles away, but it's like almost, we're closer to equator, aren't we? So, but yeah, I've got out and I literally started sweating my tits off. So I put a vest on thinking that was going to help, and it's just not. Oh man, I'm still sweating my fucking head off.
I love that we're closer to equator. Love that. It's funny, man. I went for my first run, first run, bearing in mind I'm running an half marathon on 11th. What the fuck? Who leaves in that late? I thought, right, I'll do 7 miles, yeah? I got 3.5 in. It was boiling, yeah? I had an headache for the rest of the day, man. I was thinking, fuck this, man.
Yeah, you gingers don't like sun either, do you know what I mean? It's not, do you ever have to wear like do you have to get like a tea cozy and put like...
Yeah, have you seen this time? Have you seen my colour compared to yours, bro? This is sunbed, mate. Look at this. And before and after this, bro.
I know, it's just my lighting's poor, man. I'm pretty chocolate myself.
Love that. Yeah, man. Do you know what as well? When you're talking about the atmosphere, what a shout out to Paddy Bamford, by the way, putting $5,000 behind Peacock Bar. That's quality, isn't it? That
he were well up for it yesterday, Bamford. He were loads of fun. He kept running up.
Is that farewell?
I
think it has got to be on it. I mean, why else would he? I think that's how I interpreted it. I think, Luke Ayling did it, didn't he? Something similar.
Yeah, that's a good point.
He's got a year left on his contract. He's probably been told that we'd let him go without a fee, probably, to get his wages off the books for next season.
That's
Wrexham rumours there's been, haven't there? So, he could probably find another club to take him on. It's just whether anyone's going to pay him.
Even just based on these last couple of games, he could, People see that.
Even if he gets the same salary as he's been getting in and they offer him 2 years, because he's not that old, is he? What is he? 31?
31.
Yeah, 31-ish.
Yeah, he came into the game very young, didn't he? He was at Forest and Chelsea, weren't
even if he gets a 2 or 3 year contract.
31.
Do you know what I mean? If he could get a 2-3 year contract at somewhere like Wrexham or Birmingham or someone with a bit of money that's got a bit of cash to splash. Do you know what I mean? And it'd be a good signing for a team coming into the Championship with a bit of money, I think.
That's quite interesting you say that, because I thought we'd keep a lot of the squad together, but based on what Farke has said in a couple of post matches, like now getting ready for the Prem, what we need and who's going to go and all that, and I thought, they are standing on business. We actually might see some players exit and then see. Well, we need players in. We know that much anyway, don't we? Because we've got a small squad and we're going up a level as well. So we'll have to see how it goes. But yeah, back to the game, Lockie. I'll come to you because Jack just spoke to us about that non-tour finish. What about Ramazani, man? Twice off the bench. Phenomenal. His celebrations. I mean, it was just walked in. Wind chimes. Someone's just come in.
Oh shit, that's mine. Sorry.
Someone's just come in shop. Sounds like one of them old corner shops. Only 2 kids allowed in here at a time, please. Get out. It's one of them shops. 2 goals from Ramazani off the bench, Lockie.
Yeah, Impact.
Impact,
Who'd have thought you can come on and impact a game?
I know,
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but he don't have
people
enough
thinking-
minutes, and he is
Yeah,
the manager.
Yeah.
Whoever gets him next season's going to be buzzing by it. I tell you that.
Yeah, that'll be us, and we'll be laughing
Yeah.
and enjoying him. So his time will come. We've all said this. I think it's fine. We won the we haven't won the league, but we've gone up. We could get 100 points. It's fine. He came on. He scored 2 goals. He looked quality. He looked happy. He looked really good in the celebrations. He was loving it. He's not as angry as everyone makes out. He's absolutely fine. He's just probably a bit peed off sometimes that he don't play as much. That's football. There's some very good players out there. Look at Solomon last night. Respectfully, he ain't starting over a player that's doing that. Nonto on the other side was outstanding. It's hard. Our players are good. It's not like he's not getting in over bad players. Dan James has been fit most of the season. It's a tough time, and he came on and he did exactly what he needs to do. And if there's if you bring a sub on to score 2 goals, especially that second one, what a touch and finish that was, by the way. And it was the right time on it for him, because that celebration was just perfect for the situation. Little backflip, did it twice as well. Another thing that apparently he's not allowed to do, which he did twice in the game. I think it's just everyone needs to chill out about the whole situation with it. There's too many people for me that, not to make it about them, but there's too many people that try and separate. These don't like each other. Everyone gets on. They're all mates. That's why we won. That's why we're going to win the league. That's why we're going to get 100 points. Everyone gets on. Ramazan is fine. He's loving life. He'll love life in the Premier League with us next year as well. This is it. It's all good. There's nothing bad about this team right now. We've won so much. We score so much. We don't concede goals. We don't give up chances. We create loads.
Yeah.
What else can you ask for, honestly? It's live in this moment, because there's nothing better than this. It's so good.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I agree with you, mate. Live in the moment, especially enjoy the moments, because in football, they're fleeting, man, 100%. And next season's going to be tough. We'll have some great days.
Can I just quickly say as well, Joe, while we're sort of on Farke, if these players don't want to play for Farke, they need to be very careful, don't they? Because if Farke's on the chopping board when he couldn't have performed much better this season, the players definitely are. So as a player, I'd be thinking, well, I'm actually in quite good standing with my current manager. I don't really want him out the door on the basis that I play every week or I can see my way into the side. If they get another manager in, it's starting again for them all, isn't it? So he's built foundations with them players, so they should want to play for him. And then they proved last night, that they do. So
it's a great point.
Look at how together everyone was. I know it's because of the celebration, but the entire last few weeks, you get rid of that. You've got to start from scratch with that. Yeah, it's such a risk to get rid of that bond. You need to add to it. You need to bring more players, and you need to bring quality in there. That's because the squad's good. It's a good squad. They're all together. They're all mates. Everyone gets on. It's mint.
Yeah, exactly, mate. You bang on. And sorry, I'm not. I just want to pick up one, because this is what frustrates me, because I don't want to move on, right? Like, football for me is emotional. Football for me means a lot. Unfortunately, it does dictate my mood. It's probably toxic, right? It's a toxic relationship I have with my football club, right? But it dictates my mood. Yeah, some people can switch off, right? So when I have a moment in time where I can enjoy the football I see, like the players that I watch, and have an affinity towards the manager, why would I want to rip that up? Why would I want to become this cesspit of a club that's like, well, look, right, say what you want about their trophies and all that sort of shit, right? But the way Chelsea operate, for example, under Roman, some people might like that. It wouldn't be for me, that. It just wouldn't be for me, that. All right, yeah, he won me a champion, right, sacked. Next. But that's just me as a fan, right? That's everyone can fan however they want to fan. But why and that wasn't his only remit, by the way, because Parag said, I want to give him the cards because the deck that he was dealt. So where's the people who've created that remit is us, the fans, by saying, well, he gets teams promoted but does shit in the league. The club have never said that. The club have never said that's his remit. He basically said, Parag, in an interview, let me just tell you this isn't just get us out of this league, thank you. He's had a go in the Prem. He wasn't dealt with the right cards. I want to give him the right deck to deal with because I think he can become one of the top coaches in Europe. Parag's words. So where's this notion that, oh, well, he's done his job, get on your bike? Because that's only been created by us, the fans.
Where's that? Why is that crept into the fan base even from anywhere? Because we used to be such a such a passionate fan base, and it's just this new thing. It's just new to me, and you certainly don't hear it in the stands. I can tell you that much. It's very much a social media thing. You know, you've only got to take a look at last night and listen to 35,000 people chanting Daniel Farke's name. You don't get this right. Now he's done his job. We move him on. We pick up somebody better if we can. That's not natural. It's not. Name me a club that's done it before. Name me a club and name anybody that's done it. And it's not sentiment and emotion. The guy's done his job and he's excelled at it. And he's broken records upon records, both club and championship records. Yeah. And he deserves every second and every chance. Look, this discourse and this belief that we're going to go down if we're promoted. That's just as bad as the people who said we won't go up this season under Daniel Farke because he fucked up last season. It's just a new flex on it. That's all. So I mean, anybody who says that is it's absolute guesswork. Firstly, and they're basing it on Daniel Farke's 2 attempts previously with an absolute shit squad. Somebody sent me a feed today of the squad that they got relegated with Norwich, and they were poor. Let me tell you, they were shite. But yeah, I think anybody who's judging him based on next season already, without even looking at the transfer window or anything, it's very short sighted and it's very very naive.
Yeah, you agree.
It's like what you said before, Joe. About I supported Leeds. When I was young, they were in the Champions League, but I hardly remember that. You know, I was really young when I really started following them. It was League One. I didn't support Leeds to win trophies. I didn't support Leeds to watch us win the Premier League. You know, I watched Leeds because that's just what it was, and that's what it is, and that's what most Leeds fans are. We're not born into winning, are we? No. That's not why we really support Leeds. We support Leeds because we just love it. Sometimes we can't really explain why, but it's just us. So that's what it is. And when you see a team play so well every single week, dominate opposition, I love that. You know, we're not owners. That's not our job to change the manager. So if I see a manager performing excellent every week, getting love from the fans, that football was a joke yesterday.
Unreal.
You're telling me if you buy some better players, that can't work? Come on. That'll keep you in the Prem. Of course it can. 100%. If you get the recruitment right. So yeah, I want to keep that. Of course I do. Any fan should. This
is a team that were in 5th as well, Lockie.
Yeah. 5th. And they needed a win to stay in the top 6 to guarantee them a spot. And they had absolutely zero. They couldn't do anything.
I think their first shot on target came in 70th minute or something like that, 60th minute. We were all laying at 1-0 at one point. Hey, do you know what I mean? They must have thought, what the fuck are we doing here? Like, we're not. It'll be like the Yorkshire Roses taking on the Peacocks in the charity match. It's going to be like that, you know.
Late fitness test for me. That might change everything. It won't. I'll tell you, it won't. But, I'm definitely not playing.
Love that, man.
It's look, obviously there's managers out there that could probably still do a good job with this team in the Premier League. No one's denying that. But you're telling me he can't.
Yeah,
I'm not convinced. I think he can with the right recruitment. I really
do.
Look
how good we've been recently, Lockie. That team with improvements has surely got to be competitive in the bottom 4 of the Premier League.
Yeah, absolutely.
Playing that style of football, you know, since the breaks have been let off, and since we've been allowed to play a little bit, which I think Farke has actually learned that actually with the squad we've got, he probably should have done a little bit earlier or in the season. But look, he's just let him go these last 4 or 5 games, and look, we've reaped the rewards, haven't we? We've absolutely schooled most teams. If not even in the results, you look at the Middlesbrough game, we should have won that quite comfortably, 3-4-0. Do you know what I mean? And all the games since. So if you take that. Farke's not necessarily that particular style of football, but if we play to our strengths in the Premier League with an improvement on players in each position, how can that not be competitive? What are people seeing? That's and people will come back to me and they'll say Meslier, he didn't change Meslier soon enough. He was too stubborn. Bielsa was playing Dan James as a number 9
Yeah.
And Tyler Roberts was his secret weapon off the bench every week.
Tyler Roberts is in League One now, by the way. League One.
And I don't like coming back to that. I don't like coming back to that. But the reason I use that as a comparison is because he's Lord as a God. And it is a fair comparison.
Of course.
And just on Yorkshireman's thing, this is the thing. I understand he's not done it in the Prem, but the biggest context, he had no money. 8 million. Imagine.
Bro, do you know what? One of his I seen a thread by a Norwich fan after Farker had that press conference and said what he said, and they went. Norwich fans were saying he's bang on. One of their signings for the Premier League was £700,000. Sam Byram.
Yeah,
that's what they were doing.
Like
no disrespect to Sam.
Where are they all?
Yeah, exactly. That was 10 years ago, by the way, as well, or whenever it was. It's like a long
and the second time you went up, they spent about
10 years ago,
60 million, right? They spent about 60 million the second time, but they sold Buendia for 35 of that.
Yeah.
They sold their best player and had to replace him. And look who they replaced him with. There's no one there you'll really recognise, let me tell you. He has zero chance of staying in that league. Imagine we went up right now, or us or Burnley went up and we spent 8 million. We're finished. We're done.
Well, we'd have more chance than Norwich did. That's the madness of it.
If
we go up and spend 8 million, we'd have a better chance than Norwich. And that, we're all saying we can't go up with anybody and do that. What I don't understand is, so you drag somebody in. What type of crazy football does Farker play that we're going to switch up so much? It's not this crazy gung-ho, go-forward football. It's quite strategic and formal. Yeah. It doesn't blow your mind. He's not going to just, I know he's let Firpo and Bogle really get forward recently, but not without centre mids proper protecting our back line and stuff. And to be honest, when we go up in Premier League, why not let Bogle and I know Firpo's probably moving on, but they're not great defenders, so let them get forward. Whatever you've got good going forward, let them do that. And sort out defensively what the ramifications of letting them two bomb on is. It's made out as though, if them two get forward and they can't defend, they might not need to defend.
Yeah. You bang on, man. You bang on. Sorry, no, I was just laughing at this. Look, do what's best for the club. Stop what. Well, the thing is, wanking over Farker is what's best for the club, Glenn. That's what we're telling you. You don't have to listen to it. This is just four lads, football and opinions, but you will mend the errors of your ways, much like Rysel did when he said I had a debate with Luke back in January. I've now mended my ways. Preach, he knows sister. Now.
Preach.
Look, just give the guy an opportunity. It's the least he deserves, man. That's all we're saying.
This is genuinely the most optimistic I've probably felt about the club in my lifetime. Obviously, we finished ninth in the Prem, and that was really good. But but even then, how long? And then in the summer we brought in, was it Firpo and Dan James? And I thought, okay, right, oh dear. But the players we've got, the ownership, I just think they've got the stadium stuff that's happening. I'm so in a good place with this club, and I've seen my team win every single week almost for the last few months.
I'm worried about Farker.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
That's a man that's done.
I'm worried about players not getting minutes. Like what is that about? What have we become like? Really, truly, when your team has been winning almost every game, or as you say, for the last month, certainly throughout April, we haven't lost in April, have we? I don't think since we drew with Luton. And then yet you still got people more worried about who's going to be the manager next season and players that are deserving of more minutes, even though we are where we are, potentially going to hit 100 goals if we score 7 and 100 points this season. It's absolute lunacy.
I think, was it Oscar, Joe, that made the point about some managers in the past? Thomas Frank, for example. Look at his squad, by the way, in the Championship, and he got through the playoffs. Look at that squad. It's a joke. And Buemo had Tony, Watkins, and that got through the playoffs.
Ben Rama as well, man. Don't forget.
That got through the playoffs, mate. That didn't even get top 2. And that was the second attempt as well. And then you've got, it's just, even Silva at Fulham. Look how many clubs he failed at in the Prem.
Yeah.
Now look at him.
They all failed. It's a little bit of pot luck, isn't it? To be honest, it's getting the recruitment like we've all said, and then just getting through a few games and going, actually, we're on a really good run. The reason why we don't lose many games is because we're on a really good run, and winning breeds winning, doesn't it? Losing breeds losing. That's why losers lose and winners win, don't they? It's just true, though, isn't it? So if we get off to a good start next season, the energy will remain high. If we get off to a really bad start, it's probably going to be really difficult. But I'm not going up with an inferiority complex. And I said it other week, but I'm not doing it.
You did, yeah.
What's the point? What is
See,
the
I
point?
think we'll be in a relegation battle, but I hear you. Yeah,
let's get behind it, though. We're not in a relegation battle now, are we? Let's worry about a relegation battle when we're in it. Not when we one game off winning championship and then got a brilliant summer ahead, like Lockie just said, on about expanding stadium and stuff. They're not doing that to come back down. We are not coming back down. I honestly don't think we are.
Yeah, we are.
I mean it, man. And if like I'm happy to be in January and go, Joe, I was wrong. I'm massively wrong. We're coming back down. But I'll deal with it when that happens. But I'm not doing it now. It's not the time.
No, that's fair. That's fair. You are right, mate. Fair play. Fair play.
Surely, after what we've witnessed, at least from people that don't like him, he deserves benefit of the doubt. First, give him like a month. Just give him something. Surely, surely he's earned that. Surely, I don't know. Surely, man.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. No, Yaz, mate. At the end of the day, right, if we win on Saturday, which I fully expect us to do, we'll have the championship title and have our first ever 100-point season. And I will forever call Daniel Farker the Centurion fucking Master. That's what it'll be called because he'll be a Centurion. So anyone wants to chat to him, I'll go, he's a Centurion. Get out of my fucking chat. You don't know what you're talking about. Do you know what it takes to get 100 points in a season, man? It's mad. Losing 4 all season. Mental. Losing 1 at home all season. And that came from a Manor Solomon slip. That's it.
Against the other promoted side, who were also nice.
Yeah, exactly, man. When you contextualize it, man, the dude is a fire beast. Yeah, the German fire beast, as they're calling him in the chat. I love it. Like Sam Lund says, I know we didn't go up, and everyone used to say to me last season, 90 points, nothing. But literally, he could have 190 points in 2 seasons. That is insane. I imagine that period where we were finishing 14, we'd probably need about 6 seasons to get anywhere close to what he's done in 2. Do you know what I mean? It's mental. Yeah, all 4 of our losses were 1-0. 1-0, all 4. So we were literally in every game. And the games that we won, we were dominant in and could have easily won 6-0 in loads more games than we did.
He moaned about that, didn't he? Farker, he actually said, if we'd have actually been a bit more clinical, would have easily done the 100 goals. So
yeah,
said himself, there were a few games where we did take foot off at gas and stuff. So
yeah,
you can only win games, and he wins loads. So
100%. Boys, the mad thing is, right? Think about this. We're having to be like this and defend the manager when we're on the cusp of 100 points. What's a month in the Prem going to be like? I can't.
Horrendous.
I might retire.
I told you we should have sacked him. Told you.
After getting beat by City, get him out. Honestly,
I suppose the only saving grace is we know what to expect, so we can sort of laugh it off. Do you know what I mean? But it's not necessarily us. That's the problem. It's what it breeds in the fan base. Do you know what I mean? And that's the simple reason that we're having conversations around Farker today is because some people believe that he isn't good enough to manage us in the Prem, and that's the be all and end all of it. Look, and the reason that is because a certain narrative has been spun, and actually people have decided to follow and believe that narrative. So yeah, it's very easy to be brainwashed and follow. But if you truly don't believe that he would be good enough or isn't good enough or shouldn't be given a chance, I mean, there's no helping you, if you ask me.
Yeah.
And just thinking on it. So obviously, Norwich were never going to stay up in the Prem. I urge people, just look at that. Look at the squads, please. You'll laugh. Like that was never going to stay in the Premier League. But they sacked him, didn't they, before they got relegated the second time. They haven't been up since. Under Farker, when they went down, they went back up. They sacked him. Look at them now.
Yeah, fair.
So
yeah, it was Thingy got him sacked, wasn't it, from Villa?
Dean Smith. Dean
Smith, that's him, yeah.
Dean Smith took him down, and then they've had Wagner, and then they've just had that other gadget who they sacked, and now I don't think they have a manager at the minute.
No, they've got what you call him's looking after him, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
What's his name?
Where's Houlihan?
No, Wilshshire.
Jack Wilshshire.
Jack Wilshire's, yeah. He's in charge. Yeah, at the minute.
Okay, no. Aaron Ramsey's just took Cardiff down as well, hasn't he?
Yeah.
After one game, so
he said in an interview, I thought Wilshire, that he's actually got a bit of a pull, which is just funny because he's still getting injured as a coach, which I found quite funny.
Yeah, man, it's mad. It's mad. I always remember when Pep said there's like 100 Jack Wilsons in Spain. You know, because we used to go like mad for it, like, well, the media anyway. Jack Wilshere, and then go, there's 100 of him in Spain. Don't you worry about that, which is fact. Yeah, man. Right, okay, let's talk about the game again. We lost. I think we lost. Where is he? He went, oh, you're not talking about the team. I'm off. Which is fair enough, mate. You're right. Sometimes we shouldn't feed into the negativity. I hope you're still here. I forgot where he is now. I think it was White Swan. Please come back, mate. Right, yeah. So let's talk about that first goal then. Luke, I'll come back to you because the lads have done a goal apiece. First goal, Manor Solomon, who was man of the match for Sky. Yesterday, I thought he was phenomenal and he played a lovely ball. I mean, the only part of his game I'll criticise is his corners. I think they're pretty whack. But when he's actually playing a ball in and around the box, he tends to find his man, and he found Tanaka, and wasn't an easy finish, really. Even though it landed on his boot, he just placed it past the keeper. Yeah, Tanaka's got, I don't know how many he's got now, Luke, but he's scored a few goals, hasn't he? 4 or 5, maybe?
Yeah, he has. Yeah. That is not an easy finish, I'll tell you, as an ex-striker. Those looping balls over the top.
We want to see this, bro. We want to see this for the Peacocks.
I'll come on and take a penalty if we win a penalty. That's your lot. And even then, my knee's bound to go, mate. It's literally just like an elephant's trunk at minute. It's just dangling everywhere. But yeah, it's just to have the vision to see through all those players that Tanaka was unmarked at the back post, because he was absolutely meaningful, that cross. He meant to do everything there, and he did it to absolute perfection. Dropped it on Tanaka's foot, and look, Tanaka either hits that on the volley or lets it half volley, and it goes. And it could go anywhere. He did it with his head. He did it for an header, literally 5 minutes afterwards, and Tanaka misplaced the header, didn't he?
Yeah.
But yeah, look, great, really well worked goal, and it just felt like it was going to be another one of those nights like Stoke, didn't it? And it was, look, as soon as we get that goal, it's game over. They didn't really come with much. I was quite surprised actually how poor Bristol were. I did expect a bit more from him under Manning. He has gotten playing some good stuff this season, and there or thereabouts, they probably still will make the playoffs, I think. And I would actually like to see somebody like that win the playoffs, you know, considering the other teams that are in it, just to give them a shout at the top level. But yeah, I really, really enjoyed that goal. Somebody said to me, "What a cross! But I actually thought the finish was better than the cross, because they are really, really tough to put away. But yeah, really, really enjoyable. And he's just such a likable young man, isn't he? Is Tanaka. Like, yeah, I don't know if you saw him get interviewed after, because apparently he can't speak a word of English, but Bryn Law interviewed him, and he spoke all right, man. To be fair, there was a couple of things where he just didn't make sense, but he was just smiling, and he just got away with it by smiling and just showing his like innocence, I suppose. You just know he's not that type of kid that's gonna go out on the piss and just cause loads of shit like Ramazani, I suppose. He's not like. I'm not saying Ramazani's taking the piss and going out and causing loads of shit, but you think Ramazani could be that guy who's out in town and you might bump into him at 3 or 4 o'clock in a nightclub. Tanaka will have been tucked up for at least 6 hours on his second sleep a day by that time, wouldn't he? So, yeah, really, really nice lad. Deserved every moment, and arguably been. I think if it wasn't for Dan James pulling up such good numbers, I think probably Tanaka would have been my vote for player of the season, you know.
He still might win it. When it goes to vote.
The best thing with Tanaka is it's from the last game where Ampadu was getting interviewed, you know, when we won the league, when we got promoted, he's just stood in background on a pole, just eating pizza, just looking around. He has no idea what's going on, and it's absolutely brilliant. He's replaced Rutter, hasn't he? He's replaced Rutter for that little lovable kind of. For sure.
I don't know if it came across on the TV, Jack, but did he get the loudest cheer when they came out?
He did, yeah.
He did. It sounded like it anyway.
Yeah. I also think, you know, I don't want to be negative on this, but I do think everybody just likes shouting that AO thing.
Ew.
You know, because it's like, because Gruev were on chopping board a couple of months ago, and he gets the biggest chant going as well. So it's like, and Gruev's mint and AO's mint, but it's really easy to get 30,000 people going Gruev, and it's like everybody can get stuck into that kind of AO. Everybody loves doing that. If it's a long old chant or something, do you know what I mean? It don't quite have like the punchiness to it. Nobody really gets stuck in. But yeah, he did, and he does deserve that. I'm just being slightly jovial with it because I also think everybody's just like, 10-year-old kids will be loving shouting that, won't they? Don't know who he is. I once at Leeds Fest and they were doing "Ya Torre, Colo Torre" chants.
Yeah.
I thought, now there's a solid chance here that about 90,000 of you lot don't know who these two are. You know what I mean?
What a chant
going
that
around
was,
the whole
though.
festival.
What
But
a
yeah,
chant.
so that's kind of my
It was
point.
like thingy as well, wasn't it? Will Griggs on fire.
Yeah.
Your defense is
That still happens. People still shout that. 20-year-old girls singing it just think this. I don't believe you know what this is about, but
I remember that summer it was everywhere, man. Will Griggs on fire. Quality. Boys, Joe Pirro, did you see the BetFred post that got stuck out for him? They proper went 2-footed in on the EFL, man. I thought it was brilliant. Did you just not see it? No?
I've seen it, yeah.
Yeah, it was quality. I'll read it for you, man. So this is from BetFred's official Twitter. They said Joe Pirro not being in the championship team of the season is an absolute joke. The Leeds forward has been directly involved in more goals, 26, than any other player in the division
26.
this season. That's 5 more than any player who did make the 11. This is despite the fact he has started just 35 out of 45 matches so far. Across England's top 2 tiers, the only players with more non-penalty goals than him are Salah, Isak and Haaland. That's certainly not bad company to keep. Perhaps in goal involvements largely came in lesser matches, leading to him being snubbed. Not quite. In games against the rest of the top 6 this season, he has averaged a goal or an assist every 116 minutes. In the defining game of the season so far, a 6-0 thumping of Stoke to confirm promotion. He scored a hat-trick in the opening 20 minutes and added a 4th before the break for good measure. Well, maybe there was another striker who just had an outstanding season and pipped him to the post. Again, not quite. Josh Sargent got the nod up front. He's obviously a very impressive goal scorer, having bagged 15 in 31 games, but he missed large parts of the season through injury, and even when he has been fit, hasn't always delivered. He scored in just 5 Norwich City wins all season and has just a single goal in his last 405 minutes, a period in which a few extra wins could have propelled the Canaries into playoff contention. It seems odd to us that a team that has scored 67 goals has 2 forwards in the team, while a side that's bagged 93 has to settle for just 1. Ultimately, of course, it doesn't matter. Joe Pirro has fired Leeds United back into the promised land of the Premier League. He has operated as one of the league's best playmakers, whilst also outscoring every other player in the division. It's just a bit of a shame that he hasn't been recognised officially as the best attacker in the league, because he is.
What I would add on that, Joe, is I'm not sure. I'm not sure about how the truth in this and what to believe, but I've been told that they're only allowed 3 players from one team.
So it's not true. So I was told that. We did have a look into it. Leeds got 4 in the PFA, but then someone else said in the season where Company went up and they got 100 points, they had 4 players in.
Right, okay.
So they definitely had 4 in that one. So
that's pathetic anyway, isn't it? That's not
stupid.
how competition works, is it?
Yeah. I said that. It shouldn't be like Fantasy Premier League where you're allowed 3 from each team. It's whoever's best team.
Yeah, whoever's the best players, you know.
Yeah,
and you can be objective about it, can't you? If somebody puts some ludicrous numbers up in the bottom at league, somebody gets 10 goals and you think, well, fair enough, lad, you've had 10 chances all season and you've got 10 goals, you know. You're a beast, you've been awesome this year. You can still be, objective about it, but like what you've just read out there's no argument, is there?
Yeah, no, there isn't when you put it like that.
No.
Brownhill should be in there. Firpo should be in there.
Yeah.
Piru should be in there.
Yeah.
And then probably, I would argue the Finnazaz over him, and I don't think him has been good this season.
I want happy with Boris Sainz been in there. He's got 3 goal involvements since November.
Maybe it's a 3.
And he's a spitter.
And he spat on. Yeah, he spat, right? Like
3 since November. That's.
Well, like, the only reason I know that, Lockie, is because I kept checking where Peru were at with it, and I thought neither of them were making any, because I thought he's going to be out at race for Golden Boot, really, because how we were scoring initially, and then it just didn't move. It didn't move for ages.
Yeah, he scored 2 back-to-back, Sheffield United and Bristol on 3rd of the 11th or the 14th of the 3rd.
How can a team that breaks so many records not have
January.
all those, those players in?
I just double checked as well that team of the season, and Burnley had Connor Roberts, Ian Matson, who's now at Villa, Josh Brownhill, and Nathan Teller, who ended up going to Southampton, and now I think he's at Leverkusen, is he, or something like that? But they had 4 that year, so it isn't just. But yeah, it's mad to think. I mean, Burrows hasn't been all that, He's not been great.
Armour.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to call
The
him.
thing I will say for him, like he probably deserves being team at season because he's heavily involved when they need a man to step up, but not player of the year. Like
for them, but that's not. Finn Azaz has been much more important to Middlesbrough than he potentially has to Sheffield United.
Maybe, but
he's had a lot of bookings in that as well.
Yeah, he's had 13 bookings and 9 goals. He's got more yellows than he's got fucking goals. Man, it's mad that decision, but anyway. To be honest, I think Trafford should have got player at year, if you want my honest opinion. But he should have, man. He should have. Without him,
Manuel Neuer or something, don't you? Buffon.
Yeah, he's good, man.
I didn't say he wasn't good, but you just give me that. So Peru didn't even get in that side.
Would have been player at year over him,
Dan James, man. Not a keeper when we're nearly racking up 100 goals this season.
Yeah, but they've conceded 14. They've conceded 14, and he's pulled off worldie after worldie.
Well, why aren't you vouching for the centre back then?
What, Egan Riley and thing? I said I do.
What, for the player of the season?
Oh no, not player at season.
Joe
Rodon not being in, a lot of Leeds fans were unhappy with, but I got it. I said no, the 2 centre backs and
they deserve it on that bit, yeah. But you're saying the player of the season is Trafford.
Yeah, man, he made 2 penalty saves in one game.
I just said the penalties. He saved a couple of penalties. You've got an add-on. You've got an add-on for penalties.
You say it like that, Jack. Fuck off.
I'd said seconds before you said I knew you were going to go straight to penalties, and it all lies down to that one that Mez jumped over, and you've never got over it since. And then you saw Trafford save a couple, and you were like, right, he's the player of the season this year.
Bro, I watched them play Watford the other week, right, and seen that Kayembe put out this worldy strike, right, and I think it hits the crossbar, and I go, no keeper in the world is saving it. The replay showed Trafford saved it.
You are saying he's Buffon then.
But mate, I'm telling you,
is he the player of the season, dude? Just seriously, how many players are in the league?
I don't rate giving it to a goalkeeper anyway. I mean, they don't do much to them.
Well, how often do they win it? Keepers.
Well, not only how often do they win it, but they don't do enough for me to win it. Like making a few saves here and there.
Surely.
But he's made, but how many times does he have to make a save? They've got a really good defense as well. I mean, he's made a lot of saves. Great, he's got the most clean sheets. Blah blah blah. But what I'm saying is he more influential than Dan James?
Yeah, and here's my logic.
Now because you're saying player at season,
right? If you were
turned into a stats nonce, isn't
he? Hear me out, right? If
come on, you're planning your argument here.
I'm not. I know it. I know it. He's made me laugh with that. He's through me, right?
Sorry.
My point is, if Dan James was injured for 4 months, the loss to Leeds United would be nowhere near as catastrophic as if I've lost my screen now. As if Trafford got injured for them.
You don't know that.
I do know that.
You don't know that. If they've got a decent defence, because you could argue
Darlow... No, but he's the last line of that, right? We know that already with our shite.
Is being a goalkeeper even a player? Is it even classed as playing?
Shouldn't
count, you know what I mean?
It shouldn't count.
No. Goalkeeper of the
use your
season,
feet.
Golden Glove or whatever they call it. Yeah, absolutely, but not in the mix for Player of the Season. You think of what the outfield players. Think of what outfield players do and how far they have to run every game. And
I've literally watched, and we're not even. Solomon's not even in the argument, and I've watched him murk so many right backs, so many top quality footballers. And my man saves a couple of penalties, and he's on for Player of the Season. It's wild to me.
Boys, you can laugh all you want. I still stand by it. Trafford should have gone.
Tanaka literally controlling games. You know, just it's crazy to me. Oh, it's mad.
I know I'm not on my own in this. Yeah. Ryan Powler Higgins says if Trafford was our keeper and done what he's done, the argument would be different. 100%.
So you reckon you'd have given it to him?
So you think does he think I think he'd win the Player of the Season if he were in Leeds United's goal?
Yes.
No, I would not. No, I would
not.
No, I would not.
No, I would not.
We'd have a competent goalkeeper. That's like suggesting if we'd have had Darlow in all season, I'd be tooting on for Darlow to win Player of the Season.
No, but he won't save 2 penalties in the same game.
No, because we don't concede them, do we?
If he scored 2 in a game, he should get it.
Jack City's opinion on goalkeepers is skewed anyway because he tried to defend Meslier for that penalty fucking attempt save against Norwich.
I was trying to keep you calm because I knew the Trafford were building and building and building. I just tried to keep it down. I tried to keep it scum.
I can't believe people think it's a mad take. Honestly, I don't. Anyway, I'll take my licks. The National League, congratulations, Leeds United, inaugural National League Cup winners. We've won it. No one was allowed to know where the game was and that. It was weird. I don't get it, but we've won it.
Yeah, 21s against adults as well. I mean,
against Sutton, who beat our first team a couple of seasons. Was that under Bielsa? That?
Yeah, I think so.
Needed Trafford in there, didn't we?
Yeah, true.
All out, wasn't it? You don't lose with him in that.
No, well, we'll see what happens next season. And
you don't like favourite players like goalkeepers, Joe? That must be so boring.
No, they're not, man. They're not. They're not. I'm just saying I proper rate James Trafford. So.
That's totally different from saying he's the player.
No, I think. No, right.
Because I used to try to suggest I don't think he's good.
He was poor last season, when they
I think he's good.
Yeah,
but I don't think he's the player of the season.
But out of the names that were nominated, which was Hamer, James, and Trafford, I believed it was going to go to Trafford. If not him, James, then Hamer last.
I agree, apart from Trafford, yeah.
So hear me then. Would you have given it Hamer over Trafford?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, he was going to say no, man.
I probably would. I'm not dummy. I'm not following anybody on this channel, boys.
You were, boy.
I'd maybe try to appease you.
No.
I'd maybe try to appease you. I don't really like Hamer. I don't really care for Hamer. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I think we've got better players that perform better than him. So
Solomon has, Tanaka has, for me.
Yeah, he has though. Bogle has. Bogle's been more indispensable than Hamer has for Sheffield for us.
Fair.
I'm surprised Ramazani didn't get an outside chance, to be honest. I'm surprised, just or at least an honourable mention with his lack of minutes. You'd think he got a bit of it.
Anyway, it is what it is. Right, lads, we've got one game left. We play Plymouth. Burnley play Millwall. I genuinely feel that if we score early, there is, and this might sound crazy, but I've seen some of the predictions as well in the prediction league we've got running. There's a lot of 7-0s in there. We need seven goals to get to 100 goals. It's on, innit? If we score early against Plymouth, they could fold, It could.
They're as good as relegated, aren't they? I've seen their fans saying that just sell your ticket to a Leeds fan and be done with it. The season's over. Like, we've gone down. And I've seen people flogging them for 80 quid and 100 quid in the Plymouth end. And they don't want to be there. Their players won't want to be there as much as the fans don't want to be there. If we want to be there, I can see us hitting that 100-goal tally. Honestly, I can.
Yeah.
We've done 7 twice this season, haven't we?
Yep. No.
No, once Cardiff
Cardiff
had done
6.
6 and 5, haven't they?
Yeah.
And 4. A few times.
Oh, good.
Coventry could have easily been 7, to be honest.
Yeah, it could be. I think. I don't know. I just feel like we'll get 2 or 3. No,
Yeah.
2 or 3.
They're probably going to draft Trafford in then, aren't they? So we'll probably only get 2 or 3.
We
Or a
won't score
Trafford for
single-
there.
we won't score
Well,
a
no, because
single
then Burnley will
goal.
collapse, won't they? They can't risk that.
God, you'll see, man. He'll be England's number 1 for the next decade.
Good
That's
for
not
him.
to be true. I don't think you understand what I'm saying, Joe.
No, but you try. Yeah, okay. You're saying he's a good keeper, but he shouldn't get player at year. Yeah. That's
calm down. Yeah.
The best goalkeeper in the league, I would even say.
Yeah. Well, yeah, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
But I would agree with that. But he should get which means he should get the Golden Glove or whatever they call it now. But he shouldn't get the best player because he doesn't even play with his fucking feet. It's football. He doesn't even play with his feet.
Just imagine if he did. Imagine how good he'd be then.
Yeah.
He could
Has a
do a bit.
goalkeeper ever won Ballon d'Or?
My guess would only be Buffon because I remember him being in every nomination ever. But
No, I
don't
don't
believe
think
they
he
have,
has.
you know.
There's
I don't
only
think they
been.
have they?
I think there's only been
Playing it.
one. This may be way wrong, but Cannavaro won.
Cannavaro won it, didn't he? Yeah.
But I mean, now that's just stupid, that trophy. But I
Has
think
somebody like
Cannavaro-
Maldini or nobody ever won it though?
Yashin. What about Yashin, the Russian dude? Him who wears the hat. I think he might have won it. You know. There we go.
About
Yashin
100.
in the chat.
When was that?
Well, fucking don't know. I just know he's an icon on FIFA.
The point being, keepers don't win it because it's football, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know what I
Yashin
mean?
won it.
And they're
Like,
not that. They win you a few points or they throw you a few points away. You know, we've that's what I would accept. So Burnley's defence would have been marginally worse had they had a different, just a competent goalkeeper. We struggled in the goalkeeper area this year and we threw the points away instead of gain the points. They gain you about 6-7 points maximum, would you say, if you're honest, this season?
Yashin in
A
1963.
A goal scorer gets you.
I remember it well. Did it?
It must have been a shit year for football then.
I'm gonna say like,
Yeah.
I mean, there was no World Cup or Euros in the 63, was there? Because it lands on an even number. So that explains why they just gave a sympathy vote to a goalie.
Sympathy go.
Nah, got 25 goals that season. Though. You want to check his stats?
Shillavay should have won it, shouldn't he?
Yeah,
But
no,
he's not
Shillavay,
European.
Yeah, he was a beast, wasn't he? Yeah.
Right. Let's Yashin is ever so slightly before our time. Yeah, unfortunately, right. He is, mate. Right. I think that's it, innit? Is there anything more we've missed? Anything anyone would like to discuss?
I just wanted to quickly say just about Solomon.
Yeah, man. Let's do it. I can
Who
talk about
a few weeks
Solomon.
ago was being slandered for not scoring in 13, which wasn't true. He didn't score in 8. He scored 4 in that's 5 and in 4 before that. So he had a period of 8, right? Not 13. And then in the last in the last 5, he's got 5 goals, 5 assists and 2 goals. I just think that's got under the radar a little bit, and isn't been hyped enough.
Yeah, well, because it doesn't fit many's narratives, does it?
He's been really good, hasn't he? He's turned up when he needed to. I think he said he's played so much football. He's had to kind of temper himself a little bit, but how good was he? He just looked a level above.
Would he be your first signing, lads? Because it's an easy one to do.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't
For the
see
right
why
money.
not. Yeah, absolutely.
It just makes things a lot easier because we don't even need to, as long as nobody comes in for any of our players, we don't even need to look at the wide players. They are done. We've got 4 good players to go into the 5 good wide players, 4 good options that we can take into the Premier League. And it just sort of balances things out, doesn't it? You know.
Yeah, that's fair. What about someone's just asked while we're on as well? We're just talking about other players. Did you see the the Furport where he says yours truly the second best left back in the league? I think that's brilliant.
Yeah, it's letting him know, innit? I saw a Sheffield United fan say, he's triggered now. He's just letting you know, mate.
Yeah, exactly.
He's just telling you, making sure everyone knows.
Which shows what it means to them as well, doesn't it? What do we reckon happens with Junior? I'd like him. I know, again, people say no, but I think he deserves another shot, man.
I think we need a left back anyway.
Yeah, of course.
I think.
Yeah.
So
I think we need two, though. Spyram's not going to be any use, is
yeah,
it?
true.
Let's be real.
So if we keep him and bring in a good left back, it's excellent competition in it, and it's a good option. I don't see anything wrong with that. I don't think you can really rely on him in terms of it would be a risk, in my opinion. To
I get that. Yeah,
but he's not. He can impact the season, of course he can. 100%.
Yeah, he gets.
But we need to bring in a good left back, I think.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Mr. Dodo's been up to his old tricks as well while we were on. I've got he's mocked me up as James Trafford. So
No kidding.
Joe's going to put this on his ceiling now.
I mean,
Kidding.
yeah, there you go.
Joe's gonna be so happy.
Where's he get these fucking photos of me from, by the way? I swear to God.
What would you do if you signed Trafford, Joe? What would you do?
Yeah.
You'd back him, you wouldn't, even if he were terrible, you'd absolutely back him.
I'd have to now after this one. I'd have to. We've had some super chats come in. Steve Morgan, big up, mate. I think that goes along with this question. Where are you going Monday for the parade? Where are we going, lads? Are we going? The route's out, innit? The route's out.
Doesn't look like it's stopping anywhere though. So like,
yeah, it's just gonna
keep moving, which is a bit shit, I think.
Yeah.
I've heard they're not allowed to though, aren't they? Genuinely.
Well, you'd think they might take it back to Ellen Road or something when it's finished and just let all the fans gather down there. Do you know what I mean, or something like that?
Doesn't it start and end in the same place though? So that might be probably best because you see them twice. Don't know.
Wait an hour and a half though for two.
Yeah, you are.
I think Millennium Square is probably going to be his best bet. I think that's going to be the busiest area.
Yeah, I think so as well. I know Newcastle, when they did theirs, you had to buy a ticket and it was just in one location.
Really?
Yeah. You know, like you said, they just put it in a location and just said, right, ticket for that, and you go. I mean, you shouldn't have to buy a ticket, like, but ayo, and then you all went.
Ew. I knew that
was coming. Dominic Martin with the super chat. A few questions as well. He says we have to keep Ramazani, Nonto, Aronson, Pirro, Bogle, Rodon, Strout, Tanaka, Rampadu, James, Solomon, Darlow, Gray, and Gruev. So basically the full squad.
That's literally 3/4 of our squad.
And he says, I'm beginning to have serious doubts about Parag if he's seriously thinking of replacing Dia with anyone over. Yeah, so that's my thing, right? I don't want him to go, and I will be fuming if they did get rid. But best believe they need to have a top tier replacement, someone where we go, oh wow, I get that.
That's it, yeah.
You know, if they brought someone who's on a whim, I mean, the names that were linked the other day, I'm hoping they're not real, but Giovanni Van Bronckhorst and that, get in the bin, man. If that's the answer, then what's the fucking question? Do you know what I mean? So, if they do bring someone and it's an elite coach and we can't say anything, right? We go, right, no, I get it. But yeah, it has to be right. But that's it. Lads, anything you want to share? Anything coming up at all?
No.
Any new music, Jack?
No, I need to get on with it, really. So
we need you to get booked for Leeds Fest so we can all just come and jam at Leeds Fest, mate.
Yeah, that'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
it's a shame it ain't that easy, really. Just get booked for it.
You've been before, though, haven't you?
No, but that'd be like something my mum would say, and she'd go like, "Oh, you know, why don't you just get booked for Leeds Fest?" Like, I could do that.
Not doing Glasgow this year. You're not fancy Glasgow this year, Jack.
No, what? That'd be brilliant exposure, that, wouldn't it?
It's like me dad, Jack. He keeps saying he's old school. Just go up to Old Trafford and see if they've got any jobs. You know, It don't work like that anymore,
mate. If I ever come to a Jack City gig, though, right, I genuinely am going to go low. I love it. Right, folks, smash a like on the video. Subscribe to Jack City of Leeds fans. Subscribe to Lockie Leeds. And, of course, subscribe to What to Know Better. Hopefully see you all on Monday if you're about, folks. And, yeah, we'll see you in a bit. Peace out.